Hi, I'm Lynn Sumida, and this week I am really delighted to be talking about an idea that I came across which really has intrigued me. And last week I spoke about 3 strategies to really sort of help people address when you feel overwhelmed or you have too much in your mind. And I talked about mind mapping as one strategy to just take everything out of that mind and put it out on paper. I talked about a Swiss cheese strategy that can make a real difference, and so on. Those are strategies that we really, can use on a day-to-day basis. And the third one was really looking at what brings you joy. Go towards what makes a difference in terms of your energy and brings it up. So this week I want to now talk about going even further towards what you want. And so David Brooks, a New York Times columnist and political pundit, did an interview with Oprah Winfrey. And in that interview, he talked about an idea called loves out of order. This concept actually originated with St. Augustine. And St. Augustine talked about the idea that you could have different loves and they could be in different priority, and how important it was to look at what is your priority in terms of what you love. Well, David expanded on that and he said, we sin, which doesn't mean perhaps what the religious perspective is, but for him it was more about we are out of integrity when we get our loves out of order. Okay, so what does that mean when you get your loves out of order? Well, I was talking to a friend of mine about this concept because when I get excited about an idea, as many of you know, I can't keep it to myself. So I love sharing things. And as we were talking about it, she said to me, well, Lynn, I'm not even sure what my loves are. And so probably that's an important place to start, to think about what do you love? And we all have a variety of things that we can love. We can love our fitness routine. We can love our home. We can love our family. We can love, hopefully, what we do. We can love chocolate cake or whatever dessert is your favorite. So different loves, and obviously they have different weight and different importance. So if we can get our loves out of order, how does that look? What does that really mean? And for me, it really struck a chord because I could really see, for example, a long time ago, I would get quite anxious about hosting a dinner party and having everything looking good and the house clean, the table beautiful, the food organized. By the time everything was the way that I really wanted it to be, guess what was out of order? The people in the house weren't necessarily feeling in the festive mood. So I think that was a really clear example for me where I got my loves out of order. I lost sight of what really mattered, that when you have people over, the most important thing is to enjoy them and for you to be in good space, your family, etc. So for me, this concept clicked in really quickly. And it was interesting, I was talking to Paul Johnson, whom you will know of from his writings and so on. And he said a beautiful thing. He said, Lynn, when I hear that phrase, love's out of order, it really resonates differently than if you say to me, have you thought about your priorities? And it was like from the priorities and that way of expressing it spoke to the mind, the head. And the love's out of order was all about the heart. And it just felt so different to Paul, and I think that's really what resonated for me. I want my heart to guide what matters to me and how I live. I want my loves in order. And so this week I'd really invite you to think about, when do you maybe get your loves out of order? What are your loves? And what priority, how important, and what sequence are they? I get a feeling that tells me when I have my loves out of order. I feel, whether it's a yucky feeling, it's a missed the mark feeling, just a disappointment. there's some internal signal that lets me know when I've put a task ahead of a person, or I've lost sight of the big picture, or I've been efficient, but I haven't been joyful. I've removed the chance for there to be flow. I've tightened up. So the third thing I would invite you to think about is, what's your signal? How do you know when you're out of sync with yourself, when you're out of integrity, or, as David said, you've got your loves out of order? All right, so that's the offering for this week. In Canada, or at least BC, we're looking forward to a long weekend. And so I hope those of you that are celebrating a long weekend, that you have a wonderful, heart-filled, fun-filled weekend with wonderful health and safety. And those of you that are not celebrating a long weekend because you don't live in Canada, have a great weekend. Please be in touch with us. We love to hear, what are your thoughts? Does this concept resonate for you? And if so, what difference is it making in your life? All right, thanks. Bye for now.